Okay, we're doing a little bit of Unity Flow with Zach Gold. Is that good?
That's great.
Okay, we'll put the mic over here in the middle. We're not going to do some visuals. Maybe we'll take another better picture. But basically, this is just us chatting breeze, as they say in England. Right? Us American or other nations, there's other words to describe it. But just chilling and talking, connecting about life.
Vibing. They call it vibing.
Yeah, vibing. You know, it's important. You know, one of the things I love about Rogan's podcast is it's such a natural flow between him and the guests and the.
I don't know how he gets it so natural.
So natural. So
why is it so natural?
It's as if
they must do takes recorded. And cuts.
I think it really is just that he's just really worked on himself, like to the point
he's
where
a great conversationalist.
He's just
and he
just so is himself, and there's no.
He'll stay.
Yeah, and there's no like BSing around, and he gets straight to the point of things he wants to discuss. He knows he has in his mind somewhat what he wants to talk with the person. Yeah. Yeah, I'll figure it out. It's all good. So we're going to lock up over here for my mum. It's part of the flow, just like Jamie. Yeah, I'll make sure it's good. And yeah. Oops. I can't remember my password. There we go. Yeah, it's recorded. So the point is that, you know, it's good to have these technical issues because that's also part of us being authentic. But yeah, so what did we discuss? So we had a few l'chaims. It was actually pretty good. The summer comfort, I have to say. Enjoyed it?
It was very good.
We had a bit of sushi, bit of pasta.
New tuna sushi.
Yeah. Didn't really rock the biscuits, but, you know, or as they say in America, cookies.
Yeah.
I've got to translate, you know, nowadays. My father even joined us, spoke about a few promoters that you have interest in. You shared their information, boxing promoters. Trying to discuss, do I want to broaden my demographics, what I do?
Untapped potential.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential. Generally, individually. And so we have to figure out, like, there's a situation going on in the world where there's a space, in my opinion.
I think it's normal people. When I thought about this, I was on the train, where I spent most of my life.
I'm not.
Well, I'm not a train driver, but I'm saying I get on the train every day, go to the city of London.
Yeah. So it feels like it takes up a lot.
It takes up a lot of time. And I just thought of, you know, there's this concept of humans of New York.
Yeah.
I think there's like a Jewish version, humans of
Judaism.
Something like
there's
that.
a whole bunch of that stuff, yeah.
Normal people, basically.
Yeah.
But I just thought there's
I'd be curious
Northwest
to know
London,
if they're
London,
really normal in New York. But
where the humans of Judaism, everything's exaggerated there. But Northwest London, where you're from, where we're from, has like, especially the untapped potential.
I'll lock it. I'll do it.
Untapped potential of like,
it's all right.
or in general, of Jewish England, Jewish London.
Good night.
Is untapped. I don't know what it is. There's a lot of successful English people. There's a lot of successful Jewish people, but they're not. For some reason, it hasn't been. I don't know. It's comedy. But he's always thinking about comedy. There's been a great comedians that have come out of the sort of Jewish culture.
Sure.
A great comedy that's come out of British English culture.
Yeah.
But there hasn't been that sort of kind of percolation of both that comes out of Britain, and I feel that Northwest London has a certain edge, has a certain something to it that is sort of undiscovered.
There's
and I just had this feeling of just normal people.
Podcasters around.
What, in Northwest London? No.
Not Jewish. I mean, there's like general.
Oh, in Britain, yeah. I just mean I had this thought of a podcast of just speaking to people, because how do you grow a following? How do you grow something? If you're talking about, let's say, I don't know, I'm not a promoter, but if you grow a singer maybe or a sports person, you grow them from their local area. You get their, talking about boxing promoters.
Sure.
They go back, if they're talented and they've, done well in a few fights and they've started getting some notoriety. You take them back to their hometown.
Yeah.
You tell the hometown, this is like your son. This is your. So there's like something about this area that is just just the conversations between the people who come from here and stories and their past and what they think about, and then obviously there's the people who've got maybe a lot of wisdom or have done very well in business or creatively out of this particular area, this part of the world, and getting those people to talk and share their stories and what they think, and then all the people in that area will listen to that podcast because, well, we're Northwest London, and then you start having that niche that grows maybe a cult following, and then starts having like, you know.
And even if we did it online, like we said before when we pressed record, we could do it online. I'll be in Israel, but still connected to North London through you,
for sure.
or through my family, or through my fact that my childhood, like my foundational days, was here.
You're still very much Northwest London, even though you've lived in Israel how many years?
25 years. I can't believe.
Yeah, you don't sound Israeli. Maybe you've worked to not sound
when I
Israeli.
speak Hebrew, I don't sound Israeli. Yeah, no, it's true.
So how do you speak Hebrew?
אני לא יודע. אני מבין, אבל לא מספיק. מספיק, אבל לא מספיק.
Yeah, you've got the English twang. You can't shake it.
I mean, it's funny because over Shabbat, like people in Golders were like, "You have an Australian accent. You have a South African." So South African could make sense because I'm married to someone who grew up South Africa.
I get Australian. For
Yes.
some bizarre reason, people call me Australian.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I had that the other day.
Maybe
you were from Australia.
Maybe because Spurs' manager's Australian is pretty good, so I'm quite
Yeah.
excited about him actually winning a game or two for once.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he seems like a
You
decent.
Spurs fan?
The other side.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
the other half.
So we can fight about that, especially when we have our derbies,
Yeah.
or derbies, or whatever they call
It
it.
won't be much of a fight these days. Let's be honest.
Who do you think
We're
Arsenal's so
on the
much
up and
better?
up. We're on the up and up.
They do were pretty good last year, I have to say. They didn't win the season though. They almost.
Almost bottled.
Yeah,
They
that's-
call it the bottle job. But isn't the owner got done for some sort of financial crime?
when was that?
Like a month ago. Joe Louis.
Really?
Yeah, it's like
Probably also Jewish, no?
yeah, he's Jewish. Yeah,
All these guys.
he was recorded telling his pilots to like insider trading, put on this, put on that, and his cab drivers and this.
It's crazy.
They say it was anti-Semitic because there's plenty of
Yeah.
people doing that, but they've targeted him specifically.
Yeah. I mean, I listened to the guy. You ever heard of Stephen Bartlett?
Yeah.
The
Diary of a
Diaries of
CEO.
CEO. So he had some famous football player. I don't know all the details, but I just listened to the podcast. It was interesting about who also got messed up for.
Dele Alli,
Yeah. No, not him. Another one.
the mental health.
No, not mental health. He was.
The gambler.
Yeah. The gambler.
Yeah. What's his name?
Striker, I think.
Ivan Toney.
Yeah.
He
good.
gambled. Yeah, he's he could be very good. Yeah.
So
he
it's
could be
sort
very-
of
he needs
messed
to go
up
to a
his
big
career
team.
in the meanwhile.
Yeah, he got banned for like 3 months. I'm not sure what he did. He gambled for. So he didn't throw a game.
It's just
he
interesting,
just gambled.
you know, like
he
how
didn't do anything illegal.
it just shows you, like, nowadays you can't get away with anything, and if you have values, you will be protected from all this. Because otherwise, you could be walking around nervous. Like everything
Yeah.
you're doing is being watched. Big Brother. You see now, I've been driving around London, and there's cameras everywhere. And everyone's worried about the speed limit more than they ever were.
Layers and all this.
Stuff like it's a different world now. But if you have a value system, why should you speed? Like, why should you? What are you in such a rush for? If you have value, have emunah, you have belief in God that you're going to get to where you need to get to on time without putting other people's life at risk, without being late. You know, you're going to have a
I mean,
flow.
you're watching yourself.
Yeah,
You're
and
not
if you-
worried about people watching you anyway.
If you're flowing, you don't have to worry about all
A lot
this.
of people-
So, a lot of the
even if
stuff
you
we
have a-
spoke about with Trump and Biden and America, what's going to be the new election and DeSantis, this thing and that thing, all the political stuff. If you're truly tuned into your flow, then you would just pour out a good energy. And all the challenges that are going on, inflation, we spoke about, interest rates, all the things that are going on, how to make a living, how to be a father. We didn't really get into that, but being like a husband, all the things that we struggle as young, adults in 2023. I'm not that young anymore. I'm in my mid 40s. It's pretty
You're as
crazy
young
to
as you
think
think
about.
you are.
But yeah, I still think I'm young. But the idea is that and we've got a new year coming up, Rosh Hashanah, so you could be a little bit nervous what's going to be, and it's
It's
slichot,
like
and this and that.
existential angst.
Yeah.
It's what's the point? Why are we here? What are
But
we
then
doing?
if you just tune into the truth that we have values, we have a system, it's clear, it's clarified, it's been tested and tried, it makes sense. We know ourselves, we're learning ourselves, we're growing. Fine, we have to interact with the world and figure out how to not lose our values because of the way the world's gone. We have to maintain boundaries and standards, and even if we do have pressure on us to make a living, not to feel that we have to sacrifice any of our values to make a living.
That's the question. At what point you're saying don't sacrifice your values, but which is true, and you can feel that, but what happens when within yourself you feel a pull to do something? So you can have a great value system, and it totally makes sense to you in your mind.
Well,
but when you're pulled in your emotions,
the key word is will, Rotson. Like, you have to really want it, and that really is about wanting the right things in life, and really wanting it.
What about you want I want two things at the same time. I didn't want to eat pasta and sushi.
Okay.
I didn't want to, but I also did want to.
All right.
This is why I ate it, but I didn't really want to. So
no,
you have a battle
we have an
all
excess
the time.
Of food
I
don't usually have an excess, and I'm usually not here. So why not for one time? There's a thing called zigzagging, like with food and eating. There is a room. It's Malava Malka. It's a holy time. There is room once in a while to make a l'chaim, eat a little bit of nice treats.
No, I'm saying about your concept of
do it every day.
Values.
That would be stupid.
You want values. You really do want those values. Yeah. And why do you care about people watching you? Like you were saying, because you have your own value system. It's important to have your own value system. But what happens when your own individual desires for the wrong thing interfere with your also value?
That's what I spoke about with the rabbi dude today, Rabbi Yaakov Klein, and also Rabbi Tugendorf didn't really mention it, but it was.
What is he doing? Is he here just to go to schools?
He's working for Jewish Futures, yeah. He's doing some good stuff. Yeah, really impacting the Jewish community.
He's got some soul.
Bringing that Rav Weinberger energy to the community here, to London, and they need it a bit more than maybe other places because things are more conservative in England. They need that light that he brings. So one of the things he spoke about, that his foundation.
He must know that English people are very dry.
He's working hard on it, and it's the kids are receiving it. This establishment is still a struggle for them to get their heads around it. But the one of the most important Nakudas points for him, and that's a question if I'll be in Uman this year. But based on that, Rabbi Nachman,
you might go.
Maybe, never know. Last year I made it last minute. I made 3 hours before Yom Tov. I made it there, so you never know. But
how'd you get there? Through like a car?
Flew Romania. Paid some driver stupid amount of money and made it there, and had VIP apartment and everything was covered. I didn't pay for it. Really? All got covered for me.
From thingy.
Some kind people who care about me and want me to be there. But the idea.
Have you been through Moldova ever?
No, but my sons wanted to do that this year, but we didn't.
Chabad rabbi there, Rabbi.
Yeah, he's very helpful.
Do you know him? Rachamim Belenki. You know him?
I've met another one as well.
He's
beautiful soul. The famous one. What's his name? He's on all the channels these days. I see him on LinkedIn all the time. There's a bunch of rabbis in there who've done pretty well in that space.
This guy is a really special guy.
I have him
very special Jew. Rachamim Belenki, his name is.
Him I don't know.
Before even Ukraine was on anything, nothing problem. He was always building there.
Anyway, there's some really good Chabad rabbis. They're amazing.
So you're saying if you ended up in Uman...
but the point that you get from Uman, the real inner point, is the connection to the Vekas, to Hisbodedus, to really develop a personal relationship with God. And that's when you're having that kind of emotional challenge.
Do you need to go to Uman for that?
You need to talk to Hashem. No, you don't. That's one of the blessings, that it's something that you can do in your backyard, you can do in your bedroom when you're alone, on the train. You can sit there with your headphones, sounds like you're talking to someone or whatever, and you're talking to God. You know, it's got no one's business. Like relationship, you're tuned into Hashem.
You're right.
And that you talk out. You're challenged. I used to do it a lot more. You ask God to help you.
I used to do it a lot more.
Like Rav Orish always used to say, "Tain li emunah, give me emunah." I'd see him saying it, "Give me emunah." Like he needs emunah. He has plenty of emunah. No, he's asking God right now, "Give me more emunah," because he's on his level. He's having a harder moment.
I used to do it a lot more.
Yeah, do it. I suppose the concept is
very hard.
Yeah,
to break down to.
But you could do it
to feel vulnerable, to sort of
but we
put
have
the effort into. I find it. I'd love to be able to do it better, more often.
We all have to do it on some level. The point is, everybody needs right now to connect more to their soul, to God. My point back to this Yaakov Klein was, he mentioned that it's. Oh, here it is. Sorry, he's in not in Moldova. He's in Rostov. Chaim Danziger. He's also a special guy, but he's not connected to that whole Uman thing. He's become quite a famous rabbi. But anyway, the point is, there's all these special people around, but in the end, you've got to realize you're special. That's what I was telling all the JLE guys. Like, very nice, you have all these famous rabbis, famous speakers, and it's in black, this guy, that guy, color kavod to them, they should all continue to be successful, and I'm a big fan of them, and I help people connect to them. But the bottom line is, we all need to step up and start to realize we're special, and we can bring that light to the world. And that's one of the reasons why we're just starting this process. Maybe we'll start doing it more often. And I think more and more people should start getting their voice, expressing themselves, believing in themselves, and it will make a difference. It's a challenge for all of us to really step up, and especially nowadays, we have to all step up and start representing ourselves better, and then we can start making a voice. And we shouldn't underestimate the power of one voice. Look how impactful Rogan is, or Lex Fridman, and they weren't always where they are now. It was a process to get to that.
No, Joe Rogan was like a color commentator.
And all of us can do it on our level. We just need to believe in it, believe in the process, and start doing it, and start talking about it. Do it. Like, start manifesting what you believe. If you're a creative person, create art, create comedy, create entertainment. If it's a mentalist, create music. Be creative, put it out there. If you're a manager, find someone who is that kind of talent and empower them.
Live what you are. You're right.
Yeah.
Live yourself. Be yourself.
And don't let anyone's narrative or agenda hold you back, because you've got to shine your unique light. It's a new year coming up. New year, new you. As Daniel Fenster always says, you've got to come up with your special, unique message that's you, and really bring it out more and more, and not feel that it's just gonna be for whatever. And then instead of worrying about Trump and Biden, like, you're being the best you, so it's not really going to make such a difference. One of the things Ben Shapiro puts these kind of stories into perspective. He says in the end, they're still limited by what the civil servants and the bureaucrats will let them do, whoever gets in power at the end of the day. So it's never really going to be such an important thing as much as the world politics makes
we
out.
overhype the position.
You overhype all this stuff, and really it's about us tuning into what we're here to do. And if we do it good, it will reflect back on us good, because we'll be producing a special, unique light that the world needs. And
every person is unique.
Some accounts, other people say, how do you know that they need that light? Because there's so much negative energy towards the Jewish people right now, on media and stuff, because we're not doing our job. Like an Adam Sandler movie about "Don't invite me to a bar mitzvah" is not going to fill the space. It's actually it might even piss off a few people because it's so over the top, the fanciness and stuff.
Is it really?
I mean, he's funny, Adam. I like Adam, but it's just you don't need to show how wealthy and fancy their lifestyles are. It's to piss me off, because a lot of people aren't. I'm making a bat mitzvah for my daughter. That's the reason she's here, and that's one of the reasons I'm here on this trip. I'm making a bat mitzvah. I'm bringing her to England as a way to tie it in, to see the bat mitzvah family, see all my family in one go during a bat mitzvah, so I don't have to come on a special trip when it is her bat mitzvah. And I'm going to use that time and money then to help feed a bunch of soldiers who are working hard all day protecting. I'm going to feed them pizza and ice cream. And the girls in our school are going to come, and the party's going to be there making the food and ice cream for the soldiers with the restaurants. Yeah, an organisation called Just One Chesed. We're going to do it. My friends work there, Yosef Aaron, and
instead of a party, you're donating about
pizza and ice cream.
Whose idea was that? Yours or your daughter's?
My wife, and she's going to give them. She's running it, and she's going to give them a bunch.
Your daughter has agreed to this as well.
Yeah. And she wants it. She wanted to come here, and she wants that. And she's not having a disco party and all that stuff. And you know how much money that saves me? And now I'm doing something positive. So that all that pressure's gone off me. And my daughter's expressing positivity and light and teaching her friends light. And they're all going to come home with a book of gratitude, their own book that they have to write in afterwards. I gave one once to my oldest daughter, and it's helped her so much in life. She writes in it regularly. A book of gratitude. It was advice from a rabbi friend of mine. He said you should give your daughter, she's going through a harder time, a certain period in her life. And I gave her this book of gratitude, and she writes in it.
You mean things that she should be grateful for?
Yeah. And you write every day things you're grateful for.
That's incredible.
And that chronicling, and whatever the word is, organising your day in a way that's filled with an attitude of gratitude, it transforms your life on some level. Maybe not completely.
Small prayer, those pamphlet prayers you get. was like thanks to God or something. It's in English and Hebrew. And there was a period of like a few weeks that I was saying it. It's like extremely simple.
Yeah.
Thank you for this. Thank you for this. Thank you for this. The breath,
Simple is
all the
usually where
things
it's
that
at.
I've experienced and trouble, and it does. It completely changes your mindset when you're. But for a 13-year-old or 12-year-old girl.
Yeah,
to
even
have
if
that
it's one or
is
two things.
unbelievable.
When I was in yeshiva, I used to write down all the good things I did that day, just to keeping focused on positive rather than the negative.
Right.
I saw a chiddush today, like a brand new idea of Victor Miller says. He says it's not just about having bechira, choosing right now. Like being proactive is making the right choice and not being reactive. But being proactive is also, you can do tshuva, you can do bechira on mefreya, meaning you can now go back all the different times in your life where you didn't really want to do something positive, but you did it because you tuned into the truth that you should be doing something positive. And now you start, after the fact, realizing that you can have the right attitude about it, even though it's not even, you're not even doing it now, but you can upgrade your thought about it. Like even your bris milah, you can upgrade, even you're a baby and you didn't want it, then you were screaming, but you can now think, but now I've done a mitzvah. Or like when you went to school and first time you ever learned and to do an act of kindness, now you can really add in all that deep insight that you have as an older person.
You can sort of go back there in your
yeah,
mind.
and you can elevate your whole life with a higher level attitude, and that's the kind of thing.
Even the bad things.
But you have to get into these are habits, positive habits.
But I'm saying even the bad things and mistakes you made, you can see how they were.
Yeah. So on that note, which is a positive note, I just got a message that the guy's outside for me. We're about to go drive to Slichot, and I wish you a Shana Tova, Ksivach Tova. I really appreciate you coming to hang out. And we should really see a blessed new year, like really become the best we can. And we can do this every so on.
Never give up. Keep going. Actually, I heard that this week.
Yeah.
Winston Churchill's definitions of success.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is?
Go on then.
Failure. Repeated failure.
Do you mind helping me?
With the same level of enthusiasm.
Oh, that's it.
Success. Never give up. Keep going.
But with the same level of emotional...
Same level of enthusiasm. That's success. You're failing, but you keep going. Keep going, because eventually you'll hit
the target. That's what we've all got to do that. And if we live that kind of life, then we really get the point of what this time of year is, because then we're making real choices that are going to change everything, you know. And it's up to us to do that. No one can do it for us. We'll do it ourselves. We're going to make that choice, that will, and things will get better and better as the more we do it. And these little conversations getting together, even though we sat for about an hour or so, this is when it starts to happen. And we got to do it. Just do it. That's my cap. I'm actually wearing one, thank you Hashem, but yeah, just do it. Have a good one.